All right, so you're getting ready for an interview for an aquaculture site supervisor position.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
We've got all the intel from RoleCatcher right here.
Uh,
Career guides, we've got sample interview questions.
hmm.
We've even got a little bit of a peek into their AI tools.
Cool.
Our mission here is to just give you all of the info and the strategies that you need to just absolutely crush this interview.
I love it. I think it's fascinating how much information is actually packed into these resources.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is unpack the key insights and focus on what you need to know to stand out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right into it.
Eh.
I think the heart of this is those interview questions.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher gave us 10 examples, so let's just dissect a few of those and figure out how to craft some winning responses.
Sounds good to me. And just keep in mind that RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you fine-tune those answers for specific job descriptions. But we'll get to that later.
Right.
For now, let's focus on the core concepts.
Yeah. So first up, can you tell us about your experience with aquaculture systems?
Okay.
Seems pretty straightforward, but what are they really getting at here?
They want to see more than just a chronological job history, right?
Okay.
This is your chance to really highlight the range of systems that you've worked with.
Okay.
So open ocean tanks, recirculating systems,
Yeah.
and the depth of your experience within each.
I gotcha.
So instead of saying, I worked at X farm for Y years,
Right.
you really want to talk about specific responsibilities that demonstrate expertise.
So instead of just saying, like, I worked at this farm for this many years, I should be talking about the specific things that I was doing at that farm.
Exactly. Did you manage water quality?
Yeah.
Did you develop feeding protocols?
Yeah.
Implement biosecurity measures?
Right.
Paint a picture with concrete details. The more specific, the better.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, for example, instead of just saying, I maintain water quality, you could say, I maintain water quality in a recirculating aquaculture system for salmon, ensuring optimal levels of dissolved oxygen, ammonia, and nitrates to promote healthy growth.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's not just about what I did, but how I did it and the impact it had.
Absolutely. And here's a pro tip. Anticipate those follow-up questions.
Mm.
They might ask you to elaborate on a specific system,
Yeah.
explain a challenging situation you encounter,
Yeah.
or maybe compare and contrast different approaches.
That's really smart. Being prepared for the follow-up questions, I think, shows that you're really thinking critically about it and not just reciting something that you memorized.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to question number 2. How do you ensure the health and welfare of aquatic animals?
Okay.
This one feels big.
It is big. They want to see that you understand that animal welfare is paramount in aquaculture.
Okay.
Think holistically: water quality, nutrition, disease prevention, even stress reduction.
Wow.
You're not just focused on output, you're committed to ethical and sustainable practices. It's all about striking a balance between productivity and animal well-being.
Right. So I could talk about implementing biosecurity protocols to prevent disease outbreaks.
Yes.
Or carefully monitoring water parameters to make sure that the conditions are optimal for the fish.
Exactly. And again, be prepared for those follow-up questions.
Okay.
They might ask about specific welfare challenges you've encountered, your knowledge of industry standards,
Right.
or your approach to data collection and analysis to monitor animal health.
So it's like playing mental chess, trying to anticipate their next move.
Exactly.
All right, question number 3. Can you discuss a challenging situation you faced on an aquaculture site and how you resolved it?
Oh, the classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
What are they looking for with this one?
This is about showcasing your problem-solving skills under pressure.
Okay.
Choose a story that demonstrates your ability to think critically, make decisions,
Right.
and ultimately lead to a positive outcome.
So it's not just about the problem itself, it's about how I approached it. Did I gather information?
Yes.
Did I consult with experts?
Uh-huh.
Implement some sort of creative solution?
Precisely structure your story to highlight those key elements.
Okay.
What were the stakes?
Right.
What actions did you take?
Gotcha.
What did you learn from that experience?
Oh, and I bet those potential follow-up questions could really dig into the details there.
Oh, yeah.
They could ask about, like, alternative solutions that I considered,
Mm-hmm.
or the lessons that I learned,
Uh-huh.
or how that experience shaped my approach to similar challenges in the future.
Exactly. Now, before we move on to more questions, let's touch on something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI.
Oh, right. It's not just general advice. It's like RoleCatcher can actually help tailor the responses for the specific job role that you're going for.
Exactly. Let's say the job description emphasizes sustainability.
Okay.
The AI can analyze that and suggest that you focus on Examples related to reducing waste or implementing renewable energy.
So it's like having an expert whispering in your ear, telling you which parts of your experience to bring up.
Precisely, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Right.
We have more interview questions to conquer.
Yeah, back to the interview prep.
Welcome back.
You
We're
got
going to keep dissecting these Aquaculture Site Supervisor interview questions. Quantify your impact whenever possible.
Quantify, okay.
So instead of just saying, like, I improved efficiency,
Yeah.
you could say, I implemented a new feeding protocol that reduced feed waste by 15% and increased growth rates by 10%.
Wow. Okay, so instead of just saying, I did it, I need to say, I did it, and here are the numbers to prove it.
Exactly. Data speaks volumes, and be ready for those follow-up questions.
Okay.
They might ask about your approach to problem solving, how you analyze data to identify areas for improvement,
Right.
or your experience implementing new technologies.
So it's all about demonstrating that I'm not just a task manager. I'm actually a strategic thinker, passionate about optimizing every aspect of the operation.
Yeah.
Okay, on to question number 8. Can you discuss your experience in developing and implementing sustainability initiatives on an aquaculture site?
Okay.
This one feels especially relevant given the increasing demand for sustainable seafood from consumers these days.
It is, aquaculture has to evolve to minimize its environmental impact. And they want to know you're not just paying lip service to sustainability, but actively championing it.
So instead of just saying like, I care about the environment,
Yeah.
I need to have some concrete examples of initiatives I've actually spearheaded.
Exactly, like reducing water usage, minimizing waste, implementing renewable energy sources.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to get into the nitty-gritty.
Oh.
Describe the challenges you faced, the solutions you developed, and the measurable impact you achieved.
Okay.
Did you implement a recirculating aquaculture system that reduced water consumption by 50%?
Right.
Did you develop a waste management program that diverted organic waste from landfills?
I get it.
Those details matter.
So it's about showcasing that I'm not just following trends. I'm genuinely invested in making aquaculture more sustainable.
Yeah.
And I imagine those follow-up questions could touch on specific sustainability challenges or emerging technologies, or what my vision is for the future of sustainable aquaculture.
Precisely now, question number 9. Can you discuss your experience in working with stakeholders such as customers, suppliers, and regulatory agencies?
Oh, this one's all about communication and relationship building.
It's a reminder that aquaculture site supervisors don't operate in isolation.
Right.
They need to be adept at navigating complex relationships, understanding diverse perspectives,
Okay.
and building consensus.
So it's not enough to just be good at raising fish. I also need to be good with people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about specific situations where you've had to negotiate with suppliers,
Okay.
address customer concerns, or work with regulatory agencies to ensure compliance.
Right.
Highlight your communication skills, your ability to find common ground,
Gotcha.
and your talent for resolving conflicts diplomatically.
So if I had to negotiate a better price with a feed supplier,
Yeah.
I could talk about like how I did my research beforehand and my communication strategy and how I ultimately secured a mutually beneficial agreement.
That's a great example. And be prepared for those follow-up questions.
Okay.
They might explore specific stakeholder challenges you faced, your conflict resolution strategies, or your approach to building trust and rapport.
It's like every answer leads to like 3 more potential questions.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the final question.
Yeah.
This one feels like a curveball to me.
Okay.
What are your salary expectations for this role?
Yes, the salary question.
This one always makes me nervous.
It can feel tricky, but it's important to approach it strategically.
Okay.
Do your research beforehand. Use sites like Glassdoor or Salary.com to understand the typical salary range for aquaculture site supervisor roles in your region.
So it's not about just throwing out a random number.
Right.
It's about demonstrating that I've done my homework and have a realistic understanding of the market value.
Yeah, you can frame your response as a range based on your experience and qualifications.
Right.
And emphasize that you're open to discussing it further based on the specific responsibilities and benefits of the role.
And I imagine those follow-up questions might be like, well, why that range? What makes you think you deserve that?
Exactly. Or your understanding of the company's compensation philosophy or your willingness to negotiate.
It's all about being prepared.
It is Now, before we wrap up this section on interview questions,
Yes.
let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about tailoring your answers to specific job roles?
Right. That's where RoleCatcher's AI really shines.
Exactly. The AI can analyze job descriptions,
Ah.
identify keywords,
Right.
and even provide feedback on your practice answers,
Oh, wow.
highlighting areas where you can strengthen your responses.
So if a job description really emphasizes leadership skills,
Hmm.
the AI might suggest that I incorporate more examples
Mm-hmm.
of how I've motivated teams or delegated effectively or resolved conflicts.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's like having a personalized interview coach,
That's amazing.
helping you refine your approach and present yourself in the best possible light.
Wow, that's incredibly helpful. Okay, we conquered those 10 interview questions.
We did it.
But before we celebrate, I'm curious, where does this role actually fit into the bigger aquaculture career landscape?
That's a great question, and it's something that RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually delves into.
Really?
In our next segment, we'll explore the potential career paths that await you,
Ooh.
from entry-level positions to senior management roles and even specialized fields within the aquaculture industry.
Okay, so we've prepped for those tough interview questions. We analyzed them with RoleCatcher's AI.
Yep.
And now it's time to shift gears and talk about the bigger picture,
Okay.
your career trajectory in the aquaculture industry.
Right.
This is something I'm always really fascinated by, like the different paths that people can take.
Me too. And what's so great about RoleCatcher's Career Guide is that it lays out this roadmap of sorts,
Yep.
showing how you can progress from entry level to those senior positions.
So, like, where does it all begin?
So oftentimes it starts with a hands-on role, like an
Yeah.
aquaculture technician.
Yep.
You're learning the ropes, feeding, monitoring water quality, maintaining equipment. It's all about building that foundational practical knowledge.
So you're not diving straight into management, you're getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
And understanding those core operations.
Yeah, and then from there.
So as you gain experience, you might move into a role like Assistant Aquaculture Site Supervisor.
Okay.
More responsibility comes in conducting inspections, implementing management plans, maybe even supervising other technicians.
So it's like leveling up in a video game,
Yes.
gaining new skills.
Yep.
And a broader perspective on the whole operation.
And then, of course, you reach that Aquaculture Site Supervisor level,
Right.
overseeing all aspects of the site, but it doesn't have to stop there.
This is where it gets exciting for me. Like, tell me about those senior positions.
All right.
Where can this role lead in the long run?
Well, with a proven track record,
Okay.
you could aim for managerial roles within larger companies or organizations. Think production manager overseeing multiple sites.
Oh, wow.
Or even specializing in a niche area like hatchery management or quality control.
So there's room for both upward mobility and specialization within this field.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher also highlights some less conventional paths.
Really?
Research, product development, consultancy.
Wow.
Maybe you're passionate about a specific species or an innovative aquaculture technology.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel for your career.
It is.
Well, like, how do you actually make those leaps?
So RoleCatcher emphasizes continuous learning,
Okay.
certifications, workshops, conferences, maybe pursuing an aquaculture technician certification
Right.
or an aquaculture professional certification.
So it's not just about on-the-job experience.
Mhm.
It's about actively investing in your professional development.
Right, and networking is crucial.
Okay.
Attend industry events, join professional organizations, connect with people who are doing the kind of work that inspires you. RoleCatcher even suggests creating a portfolio, showcasing your accomplishments,
Wow.
maybe presenting at conferences or even building a professional website or blog.
These are great tips for not just landing a job, but building a thriving career.
Exactly. It's about being proactive and strategic.
And remember, throughout this journey, RoleCatcher's AI tools can be your secret weapon,
Right.
not just for interview prep, but for crafting a standout resume, tailoring your LinkedIn profile, even practicing your elevator pitch.
You got it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listener?
Approach that interview with confidence,
Okay.
knowing you've got the insights and the tools to succeed,
Mm-hmm.
but also think long term.
Right.
Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years?
Yeah.
What impact do you want to make on the aquaculture industry?
That's a powerful thought. It's not just about getting a job. It's about embarking on a fulfilling career journey.
And remember, resources like RoleCatcher can help you navigate that journey every step of the way.
Well said. Good luck for that interview, and thanks for joining us for this deep dive